So this is the second session on Zoho campaigns, and this, if you ask me, is an extension of what you saw in the earlier session, where you saw how to create effective email campaigns. Now, I'm going to be talking about why it is important to grow your mailing list. And not just that, I'm also going to show you a couple of ways you can use Zoho campaigns to grow your mailing list. And this is what this session is going to be. So we start with a couple of scenarios and why you should consider how important your mailing lists are, and then move over to the ways in which Zoho campaigns helps you. And I'll show you a quick demo of what I spoke earlier. And finally, some best practices of dealing with mailing lists, because mailing lists certainly are important when it comes to any email marketing. So that said, why are mailing lists important? So these are some common complaints that we receive on a very daily basis. And these are some complaints for which we keep answering these questions. So these are some complaints. Spam rates are really high, too many unsubscribes, or open rates are extremely low. So while we're saying that, let me stop you here for a minute, and let's look at marketing in general before answering why those complaints come up very often. So if you look at marketing, we have some very common marketing methods: trade shows, TV ads, advertising. I know a lot of people try many of these ways to market your product, market your service. But there is a question. The question between cost versus quality. So in these methods, you end up spending a lot of money. You end up spending a lot of effort, time, money as well. But what is the ROI like? What is the revenue like? And how are the leads that come in? Are they of good quality? That question always remains. So that said, there is one marketing method that balances both cost and quality. This is the reason you get quality leads at very low cost. And that's why email marketing still works. That's why email marketing still is one of the best channels for lead nurture. So where is the disconnect? There is a disconnect. We have seen if email marketing is one of the best methods, why is it not working for many people? Why are there so many complaints? So the answer lies in your mailing list and how you deal with your mailing list. Because if your audience is not right, there is no way your campaigns are going to work. There is no way you're even going to send out campaigns that are effective. And that's why you need to pay a lot of attention to your mailing list. Now that we've seen how important mailing lists are, we've seen how important your audience is, I'm going to show you a couple of ways in which you can use Zoho campaigns to grow your mailing list. And why should you grow them? Okay, let's say you have set it up once and for all, and then why should you think about growing them? It's a continuous process, because there is a stat that says mailing lists go stale in about 3 to 6 months. So you don't want that to be happening. If that happens, again, your campaigns are not going to work again. So this is a continuous process. How do you make sure that your mailing lists are right? How do you make sure that your mailing list and your subscribers are active? So here's what I'm going to take you through. There are 4 points here. These are the broad concepts that I'm going to take you through. How to keep building your lists, how to capture and make the best use of the organization data, to be where your prospects are. They're in different channels today. Social media, WordPress, blogs, they're in different channels. So to be where your prospects are. And finally, how do you create referrals? So these are some ways that you can focus on and how you can use Zoho campaigns to continuously grow and maintain your mailing list. So I'm going to take you through each step. So to keep building your mailing list, we have sign-up forms. Sarah showed a couple of ways in which you can use sign-up forms in your email marketing campaigns. So I'm just going to take you through that and some tracking processes that you can use. How to capture organization data, and that comes with using email marketing and CRM effectively. So Zoho Campaigns connects with Zoho CRM. So you can use that together to capture organization data and make sure your lists are active. Then being where your prospects are. With Zoho Campaigns, we integrate with both WordPress and Facebook. And WordPress is a very recent integration that we had. So adding and getting subscribers from this channel also helps you grow your mailing list. And referrals. This is a channel not many people go through or pay attention to these channels. That is social sharing and tell a friend links in your email campaigns. A lot of people don't, but these are little things that you can do in your email templates or in your email campaigns, but they work. So now let me take you through the demo and how it is done in Zoho Campaigns. If at all you have accounts, you can probably go through it with me, or go click and understand where it is. So let me just take you through. So let's start with sign-up forms and tracking of sign-up forms. I know Sarah showed this to a lot of you earlier, but this is under contacts, and that is where you build your audience. So under contacts, if you go to list management, let's look at a single list, and there is a sign-up form attached to every list, of course, because when you're using your sign-up form in different channels, you need a place for them to come and fall into the bucket. The bucket is your mailing list. So if you look at sign-up forms, I have one here already, but let me just show you again as to how it works. So the Smart, Advanced, and the Form, you can choose from one of these. For simplicity, let's choose one of the simple ones here. And customization options are, of course, on the right. So you can edit the way you want your form to look. It has to match in design with the site that you're putting this on. So once you have done that, you can go ahead and get the response. So this is where you will be customizing how your thank you emails look. So sign-up forms are the best ways to get permissions from your subscribers to opt into your mailing list. And that's why they work the best, because your subscribers have given you the permission to send email campaigns to them, to send emails to them. So these options let you customize how the email should look. So when a person signs in, this is how the page would look, or the thank you page would look. So you have options for each of these. And then once you're done, you can get the code. And this code can be pasted on your website or in the HTML of your website. Now, that's one part, one way of showing your sign-up forms. There are two other ways of doing this, and that is the shortened URL that we have, or the QR code. I know a lot of people are using QR codes right now. So if you take the shortened URL, you just paste it on your website, and that will work, and that will load the form when a visitor clicks that particular URL. That will load the form, and once the data is input there, that will go on to the mailing list. Or you can also create a sign-up button for your form. So the button looks good on single pages, let's say landing pages. These buttons look really good. So you can use these for your sites or landing pages. And again, when a website or visitor clicks this particular button, it takes them to the page or the page that has the form, or the form where they can input their details. So once that is done, you just go to your summary, and you have it all set. Now, this is something that I want to really pay attention to, and that is sign-up form tracking in Zoho Campaigns and how that helps you. So let me go back and show you an existing form that I created earlier. Here you go. This is a form that I had created earlier, and Once you track, this is how the stats look. So it tells you the number of people or number of times this form has been viewed, the number of subscriptions that were submitted, the number of people who have confirmed their subscription, and also if you're using a button for a form, it also tells you the number of times the button has been viewed. Now, this is helpful in a lot of ways because it tells you where the leakage is. So if 10 people are viewing your form and only 2 people are submitting, you can fix such problems on your page, and that's how it helps. Now, with sign-up forms, we also give the ability to use a single form on multiple pages. So I'll give you a simple example. Let's say I want to use a form on both my home page and another landing page. So 2 places that I want to use my sign-up form on. And when I use sign-up form tracking, I can use the same form, put a code, and then understand where the form performs better. So let me show you that quickly. So I'll go back to the list that we had. And so I'll just say track now. And I can use this particular form in 2 places. One is my home page, and I can also change this to the, let's say I want to use it in my landing page as well. So once I've saved this, I can also get the code for each of these. So in my home page, I will paste this code. And let's say in my landing page, I'll probably paste this code. So once done, I can then figure out in which page the form performs better. Where am I getting most subscribers from? So these are things that sign-up form tracking helps you to do. This, again, is very helpful because it tells you what are the pages where you can grow your mailing list from. Where can you keep growing them? What are the pages where your visitors are actually existing in? So sign-up form tracking helps you do this. So like I showed you earlier, if you look at this particular form, so this tracking gives you all the details. And if you look at, it'll also tell you who submitted those details so that you can know for later reference. That said, that's how sign-up form tracking works. And there is another thing that I would like to also mention. You can use, when you're using the same form on multiple pages, you have this particular text here. You can push that to a field in Zoho campaigns that you can use it later for proper segmentation to understand who has come from where. So you can use that for segmentation. So that said, that's how sign-up forms work, and that's a great way to grow your list simply because it helps in permission-based marketing. So a person comes in, opts into your list, you send them an email asking them for verification, and then they come in. And they're sure to stay. They opted in because they wanted to hear from you. And that's why sign-up forms work best. That's the first way. If I move on to the second way, and that is capturing organization data. And like I said earlier, Zoho Campaigns integrates with Zoho CRM, and that's where all your data is in. So let's say you're going to trade shows, let's say you're going to events like these or different places where you get lead data. Most cases, your data will be in your CRM system. And that's the bulk of your information or business information. So while that information is there, you need to make the best use of that database to grow your list. So a quick example is, let's say you're going for a trade show and the entire list is in CRM. So I go to my CRM system. I go to leads, and let's say I have a trade show list. Now, this is new information that has come into my CRM system, and I want to push that to my campaigns, Zoho campaigns software, so that I can send out follow-up campaigns to all of them. So for that, I need to sync my database, the Zoho CRM database, with Zoho campaigns. And you can do that here. And Sarah showed you this, but let me quickly show you how the custom view comes up. So I'm just going to leads, and if I choose, this is where it is. So it shows me the custom view, and I can just bring in that particular data into Zoho campaigns for further follow-ups. And I will choose a list where this should go to and say save and continue. So this lets me bring in a lot of data that is available in your CRM system. For example, their Twitter handles, if you have that data, or the source from which they came in, let's say trade show. So all these data can be mapped during the sync, and once done, you can just say save and continue. And this has a lot of benefits because if you're doing this on a daily basis, we allow periodic sync. So you set it up once, and that's it. It'll happen on its own. You don't have to worry about it. And your opt-outs or deleted contacts are automatically taken care of. So you can be sure that you're not sending emails to the wrong people. So that's the second way. So once I've brought in the data, I can take follow-ups, take follow-up actions, send out email campaigns, or send out autoresponders from Zoho campaigns. So this is another way of growing your mailing list. Bring in all that information that you have into Zoho campaigns, keep them active. If you go back to the presentation, we had be where your prospects are on WordPress or Facebook. These are two integrations that we are having. I'll just show you how that works. Now, if you remember, let's go back to list management, where I showed you about sign-up forms. I'll go to this, and let's go to an existing sign-up form. Let's edit this. This is the step where we started. So before getting the code there, and this is where you do the verification emails, customize them. Now, if you look at this, there's this section right here, add on Facebook. So if you have connected your Facebook account with Zoho campaigns, you can place the same sign-up form on your Facebook page as well. So that's a great area to capture more visitor information, because a lot of your prospects, a lot of your leads are on Facebook currently. So you can use this particular option to capture data from your Facebook page, run some events, run some offer, and allow them to subscribe to your mailing list, add them to your Facebook page so that your lists keep growing. So this is one, and this is something that I would like to show you. Are you using WordPress for your sites, please? So Zoho Campaigns currently integrates with WordPress as well. So all the forms that I showed you earlier can be put on your WordPress site so that you can capture information from your blogs. So let's say you put out a blog, you capture the information. You can do that with the Zoho Campaigns plugin for WordPress. So if you search under the plugin section under WordPress, you can simply install it for you, and then the form can be added to your WordPress site. So that also is another way of capturing information from new visitors or capturing data for your mailing list. Then we go back to the presentation, and that was 3 ways. Let me just capture. One was the sign-up forms and how you can use it on WordPress, Facebook, and then you can use the CRM integration to capture data that is coming into your business. And the other way is to create referrals. Like I was saying earlier, not many people pay attention to this while you're creating a huge email campaign. We don't pay much attention to the social sharing or having an update, tell a friend link in your campaign. So Zoho Campaigns allows that. So let me show you a template or campaign that I sent out recently. This is a test campaign. Now, if you look at this, you see the tweet and share buttons here. You can use this as a part of your templates always, and these work. Now, we were just talking about how a lot of people are on Facebook, Twitter, a lot of people have moved to social media. You can use these, and once they share your email campaigns, it's another way of your campaigns to go out to their network, and you get more subscribers, you get more leads to your mailing list. So that is a great way. Let me show you where this is done. I'll just go back to creating a campaign quickly. So if I choose one of the existing templates, see here, you have social share tags. So you can use these in your footer, you can use these in your content so that your content is shared on social media sites. A lot of others will pick it up, share it on their sites, and you will also get referrals this way via social media. So this is another way of sharing your campaigns so that the word spreads and you get more visitors or leads to your mailing list. The other one is telling a friend. So let me go back to a campaign, an existing campaign, and let's see how it looks. No, this one does not have one. If you look at this tell a friend link here. Now, that's another way of sharing your campaigns or creating a referral. And not many people pay attention to this, but if your content is good, I'm sure this is another way that you can use to grow your mailing list. I will also tell you some good practices for mailing lists. So, like I was telling earlier, it's recommended not to buy or purchase lists because you do not know how much of it is junk or how much of it is good. So it's recommended not to do that. Sign-up forms is, I was stressing on the importance of sign-up forms. They are good for permission-based marketing. So it's a very good practice to use sign-up forms on your sites, on social media, on WordPress to grow your mailing lists. And you also need to pay attention to frequency. So you have a list, you have kept it active, but are you mailing them just to know that you exist? It's not like you need to mail them every week, twice a week. No, that does not work. That's too much of marketing. But you need to mail them at least once in. Let them know that you're still existing. Keep sending good content. So not stretch it beyond, let's say, 6 months, a year, and then you're sure your list would have gone stale. So you need to keep a check on frequency. So these are some best practices for mailing lists as far as email marketing goes. So that wraps up the session.